Hello, everybody, and welcome to Speaking with the Speaker. Let me turn my camera on so I can show you. I've got some guests in here with me tonight. Welcome to everybody in the chat. Let me get that pulled up here. So we've got Darth Haster, Purple Valkyrie, Kamikaze D. That's everybody, and Lady Mist. Hello and welcome. I would like to introduce you to Q-Tip and Cotton Ball. Oh no! I just.
Did you just
Hang on. No. Hang on, everybody. I just unplugged my monitor so I couldn't see anything that was going. That was good. Technical difficulties. Anyway, these are my two oldest daughters, and together we form the My Hero Academia fan club coalition.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever you want to call us, but yeah, so it's we're really excited about this. Hey, Max World Entertainment, Trey, how are you doing? Welcome. So they're nervous, so they're really giggly. They're like, no, we don't know what we're gonna say. So anyway, but yeah, no, we're really excited about this. I love My Hero Academia, and so do they. I got into it first. Just because I'm a huge anime fan, and I think did you?
It was a Sunday night movie.
Yeah, so I kind of forced them to be like, hey, we're watching this for Sunday night. And
we didn't want to go to bed afterwards.
And then we got started, and they're just like, Dad, this just never stops.
Like
this is so good. I'm just like, and that's what everybody who watches this says. It is one of the best animes out there right now. It is so much fun, has such a good story, and it teaches like good morals and values in it as well. Like, sticking with your friends, aiming for the top, work hard. You'll get where you want to be if you put everything into it. So I wanted to pull up, let me see if I can share my screen here with everybody. I want to show you guys, we're going to talk about the cast and who plays who. So hang on just a second while I pull that up. All right, boom, there we go. So I hope you guys can see that. So All Might, and how I was going to start this tonight was I was going to be off camera, but it wasn't going to work. So I was going to, because I like doing the All Might voice. So I was like, ha ha, and stuff like that. Welcome speakers, you're saved because I am here. So anyway, no, and if you guys can't hear us, let me know. We're kind of like yelling at the microphone. So, but anyway, so the guy that plays All Might, or Toshinori, I always say his name wrong. So is Christopher Sabat. The person who plays Katsuki Bakugo is Clifford Chapin. Yeah. You'll see them.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's and angry, ticked off all the time. He is the angriest character in all of anime that I've ever seen before.
Some of his other characters are totally flipped personalities. So how he can go from this sweet little person to Katsuki,
raging, crazy psycho person. Yeah, it's and then we've got Momo Yatsugi. I can never say her name right. How do you? Yajirozu. Yeah, thank you. See, they are better at pronouncing this stuff than I am. And that's Creation Girl. What's her Creation Girl? That's who she plays. Katsuki Bakugo. He's the angry one. And what's his name was Death, Murder, Kill Lord, or that's what he wanted, and they kept her no, you cannot have that name.
So they just made him stick with his name.
Because they're like, you can't have it because you want to do these crazy things. Can you guys hear everything okay? Can you hear Can you guys hear my daughters when they're yelling at the microphone? And tell me if we're too loud, because that's possible too, as I'm really loud, especially when I get excited about something. I'm breathing into the microphone.
Everyone's bleeding out of their ears.
So we've got David Matsuenga. I don't know how you say his last name, Mataranga, as Shoto Torinori. Todoroki. Oh my gosh. As many times as I've watched this and see these names and heard these names, you'd think I'd be able, but looking at them and saying them, completely different than hearing them.
We got you,
So, all right, yeah, well, I got my backup crew here. Let me put my microphone down a little bit. So, like yeah, McKenna's like staring through the. Oh, I just said her name. Oh,
No
Q-tip.
Q-tip anymore.
Q-tip is so, and then we have Michael J. Tatum as Tenya Ida. Ida. Gosh dang it.
Okay, don't worry.
But and he's. Yeah, to see how bad Dad could pronounce these names. Justin Brenner is Izuku Deku Midoriya. He's one of the main characters, and he is the only thing I don't like about him. He cries a lot.
He's getting better.
But they actually kind of make fun of that in the anime, and that's what I love about anime. Even like characters in other animes, and this one that kind of start out annoying. They become like their annoying things become endearing after a while. You're just like, oh, no, I want to cry too. Yeah.
And like you can see the growth of his character through like him not crying so much, or like
because like when he first starts,
oh my gosh, all constantly
crying constantly, and All Might's just like, seriously, dude, you got to stop crying if you want me to give you my power or whatever and stuff. So
takes a photo of him crying.
Yeah. Why does he take that? I can't remember.
To show him after, like when he's all done training, and he's like, "Look at you! This is you, like 10 months ago." I don't know how long.
Yeah,
but
that's right. and he's just like, oh, I think he starts crying again, doesn't he? Because he's looking.
I think he's like, oh, that's not fair.
That's not... So then we have Justin Cook as
Kirishima.
Ijocho Kirishima. Which one's Kirishima again?
The redhead.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. I like he's such a fun
him.
character. And then we've got Lucy Christian as you can say this one.
Ochako Uraraka.
Uraraka, yeah. Hers is fun because it rhymes.
Right?
Chaka Uraraka. But
you go.
All right. So anyway, and then we have Monica Rail as Tiatsu Usui. Oh, that's right. Sue. Yeah. She's Froppy. That's her character's name and stuff. But hey, Cred Sox. Didn't see you pop in there. Welcome. So if you are a fan of My Hero Academia,
say I.
Yeah, put a 1 in the chat for us so we know who's a fan and who's just kind of new to this and who's like, okay. Cred Sox admitted. I have no idea what this is. Okay, Cred Sox, repent. All right, go. That's a little rough. No, Cred Sox, if you like anime, you will love My Hero Academia. It is so good. It and One Punch Man are seriously 2 of my absolute favorites because they're very superhero-ish and they're just very fun.
I don't know, the fight scenes in them. You're like, oh my gosh, like he did that. That it's over.
Yeah. The music starts playing. You're like, oh no, nah.
I mean, I had a heck of a time. I had to go and I pulled clips out for the video that I started at the beginning of this. And Max World, he's new to My Hero Academia. Seriously, it's got 4 seasons out right now that are in English. I am not an originalist or whatever they call that, where you watch it in Japanese and then read subtitles. I can't do that because I'm reading subtitles and then I'm missing stuff, so I have to go back. So I really do. I am very grateful for companies like Funimation, and I can't remember. There's a couple of others that actually do the English translations and stuff. Akira and Ghost in the Shell, those are both very good.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
But yeah, it's all about kids superheroes, but there's a lot of adult superheroes in a high school, and they're training them and teaching them to be heroes because the world has 80% people who have what they call quirks. And it's some various form of superpower. And the thing I love about it, and I don't know if you guys are the same way, they're really different. Than anything else you see in superhero stuff. It's like the most obscure, like the one guy, he shoots tape out of his elbows. And you'd think,
I know, but it works for me.
What in the heck is that? But it totally works. And you're just like, wow, I would not have thought you could do that with tape, and stuff. And then, what's the little pervert guy?
Mineta.
Yeah, Mineta. Oh my gosh. He is this little short high school kid, and he's a total pervert. And I found out that he's voiced by a girl.
I did not know that.
I just found that out today. I'm like, no way. I was like looking through to see the different characters. Anyway, well, let's. So if you want to find this list, but you can go through and find all these people. But I love how like a lot of different voice. Where can you watch it right now? It's on Hulu.
Yeah, there's some on Netflix. I believe.
I think
the
yeah,
first
they do
season
have
that
some
it's
of it on Netflix. What was the
Funimation.
yeah, you can go to Funimation and watch it right there directly from their site. I've got a subscription to them because it's like $7 a month and you get loads of animes that you can go and find all kinds. That's where I tracked down Cowboy Bebop for the first time.
Oh, we need to
Yeah,
watch that
yeah.
one.
We're all trying to see. They get ahead of me on some, and then I'm ahead of them on others, and we just sit there and share notes. Oh, this one's really good.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that
you
one really good? Oh, yes, it is. So,
In this part.
so it is so much fun, and to have my kids into this. My son's into anime as well. He's not here today, but yeah, it's so what was that? What was that site that you were telling me? Oh, best dubbed anime.com. I had a hard time figuring out how to work their site, but I think I just need to go look around some more. I'm a boomer, I guess.
I was like, you know, you just go on, you press it, and you watch it.
Yeah. So we, you know, I hope at some point the streaming wars end and we get back to a couple of streaming services so that we don't have to have 15 different ones. Right now, I'm on my brother's Netflix. I have Hulu. I have Amazon. I have Funimation, and I don't know how many others. Anyway, and we've got Disney because it's free because I am never paying for Disney ever. So, but anyway, but yeah, so go check out, and seriously, if you don't get into it right away, you're crazy, but give it a few episodes because you will. The hero or the guy that pulls you in, at least for me, was All Might. The voice, the acting, the character of All Might, he is a hero, and he's the big blonde guy. I'm trying to see in the picture here that I've got up with casting. He's the big guy that has hair that sticks up, which I thought was weird the first time I saw it, but then I'm just like, nope, not weird anymore.
It fits him.
So freaking cool. I just there are some movies that have done movies of this right now in manga circles. Having this is like printing money. They can't keep it on the store shelves. I mean, it is super popular all over the world. I kind of stumbled into it because, like I say, I watch a lot of different animes, and I was like, I'd seen this one popping up a lot, and I'm like, I'm gonna go take a look, and yeah, it caught me right away. So, if you guys had to pick a character, who would you pick as your favorite?
That is such a hard question.
I know, and it is hard. This show, you'll be just like, I love them all. I want them all.
And like at the beginning, you'll be like, oh, I don't really like. Never mind. I'd take it back. I love this
Oh my
character.
gosh. Eraserhead is such like a mood. I love him.
Yes.
He's the teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the teacher for Class 1A, which is the main characters for the show is in Class 1A. And then they've got another Class 1B or Class 1B. And there's a rivalry between these two classes. And it's so funny because like there's this one guy who's just like every time he sees him, he's like, oh, what's the matter, you guys? You suck. And this other girl walks up and whacks him in the head every time, knocks him out. She's like, sorry about him.
Walks away and they're like, what just
happened? What just happened? Is she like the mom of that group?
She basically is though. But
yeah, it's so much fun. So anyway, I kind of if you had to boil it down to one.
Probably Bakugo.
Bakugo.
Love him.
Okay. And he's which
like
what's his character? Or he's the fire.
He's
King Explosion Murder.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
And just like I can't even explain how awesome he is.
Honestly.
He's the bad boy. If that tells you anything, he's the bad boy. Although I've seen them totally geek out over Midoriya as well.
Okay,
so
honestly though, I think if I had to pick, I think it'd be him because I love him.
Or Todoroki. I can't.
It's like almost impossible. Once you get into the show, you're just like, they're all so
Oh,
good.
what about this one and this one?
Yeah. But like I have to say my favorite is All Might, just because I think without him, he is the centerpiece of the show
Yes.
for me. Because it's all kind of circling around him and Midoriya. Because I'll try not to give too much away here, but I mean, we're gonna have to give you a few details, but we'll try not to give spoilers. But this happens in the first episode, so it's not like we're giving anything away. All Might was injured, and he has the ability to pass his quirk or his superpower on to someone else. And he's going to become a teacher at UA, which is the name of the high school. And he finds Midoriya just before he starts teaching and transfers his quirk to Midoriya, which is very rare. Most quirks, like you cannot transfer them. Whatever quirk you have, that's what it is.
Just his.
So yeah, it's just All Might's quirk that he transfers from person to person. And he's not the first one to hold it. There's been a whole bunch of different, and every person who gets it builds upon it.
Yeah.
So he's the 8th.
Mhm.
So he's the 8th holder of this power called One for All. And which is just
I love it.
I love the play on that Musketeers
Mhm.
theme for the names of the quirk.
And his quirk, they call it like a stockpiling like quirk. So you take power and you stockpile it, and then you pass it on, and they build upon it. So it's just powerhouse.
I'm not sure what
Yeah.
that is.
It is-
I'm not sure why that's even popped up there. So let's just stop sharing that. Okay. Hang on a second. We'll blow us back up big here. But anyway, so it's just a fun show. But like I said, it's what American cartoons used to be. Teaches good values, the work ethic, like what All Might puts Midoriya through, because Midoriya is this skinny, teeny tiny little kid, and he's got to train him to be able to take on this massive power, this massive ability, because All Might is the #1 hero in the world. He's called the symbol of peace, and because of him, the crime rate around the world has just plummeted, because they are criminals, and even the bad guys with quirks are scared to death of him because he is that powerful. He is the Superman of these guys, but in a lot of ways, he puts Superman to shame. Just with the way he uses his powers and stuff. I mean, they're all great, but anyway. So let's talk about some of the other characters that you guys can remember. So we got Mineta, and Mineta has these little balls that are on his head that he throws them. He can pull them off to a certain amount, and then he all their quirks have limits. So their powers only go so far, and then they start to. It's just like a muscle. You use it so much, and then it wears out.
Yeah. But that's also how you make it strong.
But yeah, so you have to use it to build it up, make it stronger. So it's not like they just. And that's another thing I love about this. It's like they have to work at this. Like, it's not like, boom, I was born on this planet and now I'm a super duper hero, which Superman still had to build his abilities. So I'm not knocking the other superheroes and stuff. But every single one of these characters has a character arc. They're all starting in one place and then going to another place, which it just makes it that much more fun. But Mineta, he is obsessed with girls.
He's like the most annoying character. I feel like personally, I'm like, I hate him, but I love him at the same time.
Yeah, but he's so funny because he's just like total girl crazy. And there's an episode where they move into these dorms, and because some stuff that's been happening at school. They move into these dorms, and so all of them are going around each other's rooms having a who's got the coolest room contest. And anyway, everybody's going around, and then Mineta's like got his head sticking out the door, goes, "Come on, ladies, you'll love what's in here."
I've got so much to show
you.
you.
So much to show you. And everybody's just like, okay. And they all turn as a group and walk away, and they're like, "Where are you going?" It really, really is funny.
It's
one of our cats decided to come in. But yeah, it's I'm trying to think who's the guy that has the electric.
Oh, Kaminari.
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 He is so funny too. So it's him and Mineta that are kind of the semi perverts of it, but Mineta's the worst. And
like And the other one just adds
and the other one
tagging
just
it
kind of
on.
feeds into it. But when he shocks somebody, or like he uses his electricity to too much, he becomes stupid. It's like
His
because
brain like fries.
yeah, it's like it takes too much energy out of him, so he's like his neurons and stuff aren't firing and stuff like that. But it is so funny because he's just like it's 1.7 million volts, and all of a sudden he's just like,
Yeah.
and so everybody else has to save him at that point. But pardon me. So I want you guys to talk about what you like about the show, the different aspects, and I got to take a drink. So pardon me, drinking for the working man.
You haven't talked like at all.
Paper scissors.
All right.
Okay, you just go.
I don't know. It's so funny. It's got great action. It's just overall so amazing. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
And
I ordered a shirt just to do this, and it didn't come. Thanks, Amazon. But yeah,
all ordered shirts for this.
yeah, we should. Well, this may not be the last time we get on talk about My Hero Academia because we may do like breakdowns of seasons and stuff. I didn't want to get too in depth. Just wanted to share our love for this because it really is that good. Like I said, out of all the animes I've watched, it's one of my all-time favorites, and I go back to it a lot. When I'm just like bored or don't know what else to watch, I'll be like, I want to watch that episode again. And you just start going and you just start looking for your favorite episodes. But so the video I showed at the beginning, for those of you who may have not been here at the beginning, I'm going to show this again real quick because this shows one of the main fight sequences from the first season. And this is a tiny clip of it. The fight sequence goes on a lot longer and is just intense. And every season you think they can't get bigger than this. They can't make this better. They can't do it anything to, and every season
they
get better. And you're just like, no way. How is it possible that you can keep upping the stakes of these mega superpowers? So let's play that again real quick. And I want you guys, for those of you who are new to this, it'll give you just a brief synopsis of what you can expect. And this is all taken mainly from the first season.
Can I just
Okay.
Can I just
So-
say that was amazingly done. I love you, Dad.
So I went and edited out clips and then went and found some music to go along with it and stuff. But oh yeah, we need to. Sorry, we dropped our chat here for a second. But yeah, it is. I just started head bobbing. Yeah, that's what I was kind of doing. The outro will show you another fight sequence at the end of the second season, and so stay here for that. Child labor. Thanks, Adega. Welcome, by the way. Adega Outlaws here. So yeah, these are my children, but this one's an adult, and this one's kind of an adult.
I'm getting there.
She's so close. Anyway, so Adega the dog's not in here. I'd like to apologize for that. He's used to watching a video with Jack's butt walking around in the back of it.
Yeah.
Jack is
So,
in here. He's just
apologize.
laying
For that. Oh, and so there's Spartan 017. See, why aren't you here, Spartan? You should have.
down.
That's my son.
Oh,
He-
James!
he could have been in here.
Really?
So
He's on his computer. He's like,
But yeah, so Spartan says, I tried to call him earlier and he didn't answer his phone. So, but anyway, so yes, the fight sequences will absolutely blow you away. You'll go through. I mean, there's a lot of good anime out there, and there's a lot of good fight sequences. But what's the movie what's the Two Heroes? Two Heroes is the first movie that came out for My Hero Academia. Movie went to the theaters and everything and stuff. And the fight sequence at the end of that film will absolutely blow your mind. It is unbelievably well done. And just the music, the animation, it just, like I said, it just gets better every season. And the only thing is there's 4 seasons and they're not even out of the first semester yet. So this is going to possibly be the longest anime in the history of the world.
But I'm okay with it.
But yeah, but you'll be like, okay, just keep going. Never stop. Never.
34 seasons.
Yeah.
And then you're like, welcome to your second year of high school.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's go.
Yes.
So, but yeah, no one wants to hear about your fudge muppets. Okay, I gotta pull that comment up because I think I missed something in the chat from Max World.
No, it's not there.
Where is it?
It's late. Fudge
Oh, okay. So yeah, but yeah, it is so good. Let me pull that back down. But yeah, it's such a fun anime. You can sit down and watch this with your kids, and your kids will get into this and they will love it and think you are the best mom or dad or an aunt or uncle or nephew or niece or whatever of all time, because they will love the characters from this.
Yeah, fun for the whole family.
Yeah, it really is. And it teaches, like I keep saying that a lot, but it teaches great values. Stuff that you don't see anymore. Like what All Might puts Midoriya through, he makes him clean this beach off that is like covered in all of this different the waste that's washed up, like sinks and refrigerators that got thrown in the ocean and has been washed back up on shore. Yeah, he makes him clean like 2 miles of this beach, and to help him train and to build up his physical stamina before he gives him all for one. But or is it one for all? I keep saying that wrong, don't I? It's one for all. Okay, because there's 2. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm supposed to give away. So
that one's pretty far in.
So yeah, no, I won't give that. Yes, I will already have basically. So there's 2 quirks that you're going to hear about a lot. One for all, which is All Might's quirk,
Yes.
and All for One, which is the bad guy's quirk. And you'll learn more about him. I won't even talk about him. But you don't even hardly see him. You see his subordinates through most of it till the 2nd season. And then you finally see him come out of the shadows. But they talk about him. But he is such a good villain. I mean, the kind of villain that makes you that freaks you out. When he comes on screen, you're just like, okay, now I just went cold. All the blood has run out of my body. And
his music, you're like,
yeah,
what did he do?
I'm sorry, wait. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it really is a lot of fun to watch this and to sit down and watch it with your kids and to watch them get excited about this. But yeah, see, I was into anime. I was into anime, and I had all these things saved in my queue. And McKenna got on there, and I just said her name again. Q-tip.
It's okay because they don't know her name.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yet.
We have, yeah. So McKenna was the first, and she started getting on there and seeing all these animes that I had been watching. And all of a sudden I'd get on to watch my anime and it'd be ahead 3 or 4 episodes. And I'm like, what the heck's going on here? And then all of a sudden animes that I hadn't even watched started popping up. And I'm like, so I went through my kids going like, are you watching anime? Are you watching anime? And then finally she admitted it, and she's been hooked ever since. So I hooked her without even knowing that that's what I was doing. So that's how addictive anime is. If you find the good ones, there are some ones out there that will put you off anime if you're not careful.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but like there's we also all love Attack on Titan. Extremely violent, very violent anime. That is not really one to watch with your children. So
I got you into that one. I was like, Dad, watch this one.
she did. She actually got me. I started watching it. I'm like, you shouldn't be watching this. This is terrible. It's really good though. But okay, let's watch it together so that I can at least monitor it anyway. But yeah, so it is fun to watch what happens in the anime. And if you're looking for pretty good wholesome entertainment, you can find some amazing animes out there to sit down and watch with your kids. Yeah. You do have to be discerning because they do have some animes that have serious adult content to them. So watch yourself.
You are not the reason we watch anime.
Okay, James may have got into it before.
Actually, I feel like he started you on it.
No, we started separately.
Oh, really?
And then we're both like, you like anime? Yeah, I like anime. I know. And then we just started talking. But yeah, whatever.
Right?
I am 46. What are you, 21? I think I beat you there. So no, but anyway. But yeah, it really is a lot of fun to do this. So let's look at some other. President Mike. Oh. He's one of the other characters. He's a teacher. We started to talk. Let's talk about Eraserhead first. Because we started to talk about him. He's the teacher for class 1A. And his name is so stupid. You're just like, but that becomes part of the joke later on in the show. You're like, how did you get such a stupid name? It's because he didn't care. And his buddy's like, let's just call you Eraserhead. And it stuck. And so
he's one of the most
but he is one of the most bad A characters in this anime because he erases quirks. Like if he looks at you, he can erase your quirk.
Your quirk is gone.
And then he's got these scarves that are made out of a special material around his neck that he whips and flings and is deadly with these things.
Into the end of the first season, you're like, Eraserhead, be careful. Don't let anything happen to you.
When you first see him fight, it's like, I'm sorry, is this the same guy that we were just introduced to?
The first time you see him, you're like, oh my gosh.
Because he's so like, his normal character that you see him as when he's a teacher is this like melancholy, like not doing anything. But when he fights, it's like the blind monk in most animes where it's like you don't expect them to be able to destroy everybody, but they do. And he's one of those characters that just pops out and surprises you. But the teachers of the school are really fun and they're like President Mike. He's one of the other teachers. He's got this speaker around his neck, but his quirk is ultra high frequency sound. And when he like yells, it just like there's this part where he's part of a test for the kids, and and they're trying to get through a gate to get past him to pass their finals. And he just keeps yelling at them. And they're like, and they're like, he's just blowing them away. And our kitty wants out. So, everybody thinks they're the ones that started it all.
Now they're all like, it was me.
Kamikaze D. Whatever, dude, whatever. No, I'm sure somebody else is just like, I watched there'll be a 70-year-old guy. I watched the first anime ever. It was me. I started it all.
I brought it to America.
But yeah, no, it is. You will find yourself binge watching because you can't stop once you get going into this. It is so much fun, and the characters are so inventive. And like I said, you'll see these people, and you're like, who thought of these quirks? Yeah. How did you come up with all of these different powers? Because there's one he's a sludge villain that you see that involves Midoriya and Bakugo, and they get involved, and that's how All Might kind of meets Midoriya. And this villain is just creepy, but it's such a fun sequence to watch because that's where you first really see All Might
and that's where you first see the personalities of Bakugo and Midoriya.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, it is. So let's see who else have we got on here? Oh, Gran Torino. You'll meet him. You'll meet him in season 2, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, when he comes in, that's like I love to go back and watch from there on. Yeah, because he just makes it so much fun. He
is a fun character, and he was one of the guys who helped train All Might. He was one of All Might's mentors and teachers when he was at UA. So you get to kind of see this relationship, and you will you will laugh so hard in this, and if you don't, I apologize. Your sense of humor is broken. But All
Fix it.
Might will show up in the funniest sequences where he's just like, "I am here in an awkward position," and he's just, I have a lot of fun watching these. Let's see, who else can we talk about as
Eerie.
Airy.
Airy?
Whatever. However you say it.
Which one? She? I don't.
She's the
In the
girl with
fourth
the
season.
horn on the side of her.
Oh yeah, you don't see her till season
fourth
4. And she's
She'll steal
she's
your
a great
heart.
she'll steal your heart. She's a great character.
Like it's one of those heart tugging moments.
Yeah, because
Pulls
they are
heartstrings.
very good
Love
at
the
building
things.
up character stories and character arcs. And they'll like throw a character in, and then halftime they'll go back and then slowly feed you the backstory until you're caught up, and then you're just like, I had no idea that I was going to like this character this much. Sir Night Eye, he is one of the pro heroes. Every time you say somebody, it's just like, so that should give you an idea how much you're going to like these characters. Sir Night Eye, he is like a pro hero that they intern with.
And he was All Might's sidekick.
Yeah, All
back in
Might's
the day.
sidekick. When
Sorry, you can keep talking, but I was just.
okay. Darth Haster's asking us about the villain. See, I need somebody to sit here and help me be like, God, you need to look at the chat. Well, part of the reason is I'm turned different than I normally am when I'm doing this. So, but yeah, so the villains, like I said, All for One is the main villain. What's the?
I'm thinking of it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They're the character
Obviously.
names.
Shigaraki.
You'll gotta be careful how I say that.
You got
Shigaraki. 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 Anyway, he's one of the main villains. What's the warp villain's name? Do you remember?
Oh.
Toshinori? No, that's
All
All
Might.
Might.
Kirogiri.
Yeah, Kirigiri. He's a villain who creates warp gates, and he can teleport things from any location to a different location. And his character, he looks like a cloud of vapor with eyes and then like a metal collar around him. Like I said, you will be amazed at how cool the characters look for this. And everyone, you'll just be like, well, what is he going to do? Wait till you get to Stain.
Oh, he is such a good villain.
The hero killer. He's in season 3. And
It's 2.
is it 2?
Yeah.
I thought he
Okay.
was like,
Yeah.
It's the end of the second one.
Okay. So he is in this. It's terrible. It's so good you can't remember all the different parts. But yeah, Stain, the hero killer, he's a zealot who despises the way heroes are looked at in this society. So he wants people. He wants to kill all of the bad heroes, all the heroes, because he thinks they're frauds, because they get paid for what they do and they're part of the government, and he doesn't like that and stuff. But his voice and stuff is so, well, I don't know who did it, but it's very dark and grainy and yeah. Sorry.
okay.
Sorry, I just terrify my children.
I love a
But
good
yeah,
villain.
Yes, for sure.
the villains will blow your mind because they are every bit as good as the heroes are. You will sit there going, I love that guy, even though he's evil. So,
Oh, one of my favorite villains ever is Twice. He's
which one?
he's the one that has like multiple
Oh,
personalities.
he's
yes.
basically Deadpool.
Yeah, he's
And
almost Deadpool.
Yeah.
He's a schizophrenic. He has multiple personalities, and they're complete polar opposites. So he'll be like, "Oh, that really hurt. Hit me again," and it all at the same time. It is
It's
really
so
funny.
amazing.
It really is funny. But he's like a freaky bad guy because he creates duplicates of himself or anyone. That's his power, is he can create as many duplicates as people. And then there's a teacher at UA, and I'm having a hard time remembering his name, but he wears a mask and he creates copies of
Oh.
himself.
The Phantom
Of-
guy.
Yeah. He creates character, or he creates multiple of himself out of ectoplasm, which I was just like, Ghostbusters. Yeah. But his voice and what he can do is just crazy. He
He's
looks like a
awesome.
villain, but's a
But
hero.
Same
And
with Orca.
oh yeah,
Gang Orca.
Gang
I was
Orca.
like,
Yep.
this person should be a
He
villain.
looks
but
like a killer whale with legs, but he is, and he actually plays a villain in one of the tests they give the kids, and you're just like, he could be a really good villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he is another great character. We're trying to look.
Overhaul. I love Overhaul.
Which
He's
one?
He's the final villain. And
No, that was the
This is what it's like at dinner time at my house. Do you remember this one?
with Airy.
So
He's the villain with Airy.
Yeah, that's what
No,
I'm
hold on.
talking about. I cannot. We're talking about the
sorry,
same person
we're in
right
we're in a
now.
conference. We'll get back to you when we figure out who this guy is.
Okay, just finish your thought.
But
Anyways, he's a great
so what's his power? Do you?
he can he'll destroy something and remake it.
Oh yes, I forgot. Okay, yeah, now I remember who you're talking. I was just like, because I've only watched the 4th season once because they just got it out on English in the English version, and I have not seen the second movie because they have not brought it out in English yet. I was going to go see it in Japanese in the theater just because I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to sit there and open my eyes as wide as I can and see everything because seriously, that is a movie. Those they're worth going to, even if you had to read. I mean, but the disease of all diseases that have ruined life all over the planet showed up, and that was the end of that. So,
or it could be a very alcoholic beverage to those who do that.
What are you talking about?
The coronavirus. You could say it that way.
Oh,
Anyways.
so Spartan is kicking this out. Twice doesn't make copies of himself. He can't, but that's part of his he can, but it's part of his backstory and why he won't. Apparently I can't read today.
Oh, yeah, so he'll make copies of other people.
Yeah, he makes copies of other heroes, and that happens. So the second season where they're on the camping trip or in the camp. Is that the third season?
Yeah, that's like the first part.
But yeah, so you kind of get a feel for how bad that is because he duplicates them and their quirks. So he can make multiple versions of these.
But he won't do himself, is what.
So and this was Kamikaze. Just and I agree. Yeah, the villain.
True.
The heroes are only as good as your villains, and the villains are fantastic in this anime. They really are. They like I said, for as good as the heroes are, the villains are just as. I mean, and the stakes are always high. You never feel like, oh, geez, just I don't care about this villain. Even the low-powered villains play their part because they join in and they help the other villains too. So like multiple, yeah, kind of like that. So let's see. So Dega just threw this in. My other boys should meet your girls. Nothing like embarrassing your kids. Yes. Yeah, but this is one of our favorite things to do. We'll be standing around. My wife just is not a fan of anime.
Not at all.
At all. Like we'll start talking about it and her eyes just glaze over.
Yeah, she's like,
we'll be fixing dinner and we'll all be just like, no. Oh, I like this one. I like that one. And what did you think about this one?
Oh, did you remember that part?
Yeah, and she's just like, chop, just chopping vegetables or something.
Amused at all.
Wishing we would shut up. So, but
she'd rather have silence.
but we don't. So, and but yeah, it is. You will love the way this is put together and the character arcs and how they perform it, and the animation is just unbelievably good. I know I'm kind of repeating myself here, but it really does bear repeating because one of the reasons I went to anime, and I think I've said this before, is because I was tired of what Hollywood was doing. I was they're stuck. And now Hollywood is now trying to go. Yes, you can hear my wife's eyes roll.
Yep.
Pardon me. But yeah, it's no, I forgot what I was saying before.
I was trying to read that comment.
Did not like what Hollywood was doing.
Yeah, didn't like what Hollywood's been doing. like Captain Marvel is a hero that's not really a hero. She's just a garbage character that's wrapped in wokeness and SJW politics. The Japanese and the Japanimation was what it used to be called.
Japanimation.
That's what, when I was growing up, that's what it was called, was
Oh,
Japanimation.
So you're
now-
just making it up. I was like, okay.
Now it's anime. So, but I remember back when it was that. So, and they're not doing that. In fact, they just, I don't know how many of you guys read this story. The United States or the comic industry over here was trying to force themselves in and regulate what the Japanese creators could do. They wanted to pass a law and get involved and stop them from using their creative
I
vision.
think that they did have like a mob.
The
on their
main
hands.
comic guy, and I can't think of his name for Japan, went before their House of Commons or Parliament, or I can't remember exactly what their body's called that does their governing. And he made this impassioned plea, and you should go read the speech. It is phenomenal what he said. He's like, this is our art form. This is unique to our culture. We do not want it corrupted and changed and messed with. And they voted 100% to back his resolution to
awesome.
completely stop that. And I'm just like,
Amen.
yes.
Yeah.
I was like, and I'm just like, thank goodness for people who stand up and who are not going to let their history be changed and not let their culture be corrupted by outside influences and all this kind of stuff. You know,
Much
it's
like going on right now.
yeah. It's so, I mean, that's every time I read something about, and that's why manga right now is absolutely destroying the American comic book industry, because the American comic book industry forgot what it was to make good comics and make good stories and do what they should. And Japan and other places around the world have not done that. They've been smart and they've kept what they knew made them successful. So that's one of the reasons I keep going back to this. We're starting to see a little bit of influence in some, but you know, I've watched a lot of different animes. Cowboy Bebop has this. There's a little bit of it in this one where like there's kind of a suggestion of some homosexual characters or different characters or different idea, or like in one of the villains in this is a transgendered person.
But it doesn't stay focused on
But
that
yeah,
fact.
it doesn't stay like you wouldn't know unless you're really paying attention. And that's what makes it good, because we don't want to pretend like those people don't exist in the world. We don't. Because they do. They're part of our societies, and everybody wants to kind of see a little bit of themselves in the entertainment they watch. And I get that. Now, that doesn't mean we have to all look and we don't all have to have the same color. And we got to check these boxes to get great entertainment. But that's the amazing thing. They don't become the hub of the story. The politics don't. So Adega just popped this in here. Yeah, even Robotech has a crossdresser. So, I mean, it's in there, but it's done the right way. It's not in your face. That's not what the whole story's
It's not
about.
pushing it on you.
Yeah,
it's like this person exists and is part of a story. And
Yeah.
that's their
And they're all together
And they have
in
a
this.
purpose.
It's not like, you know, so it is really well done, and it makes it a lot of fun. And you never are watching it and feel like, oh, you just got pulled out of the story because of something that just happened. You're just like, oh crap, I don't want to read news headlines in my entertainment. You know, it's like I get enough of that. I go to entertainment to escape that stuff. That's why it's called escapism. But anyway, I can't what are you guys' final thoughts on this? For like, okay, if you had to rate this 1 to 10,
12.
12.
Yeah.
12, 15.
Something like that.
Yeah, it is, like I said, you will have a lot of fun. You will be able to sit down and talk about this with other people. Eventually, I may start doing a show where I cover, because Saturdays every other week we're doing The Expanse with Captain Trek, and anybody else who wants to come on and talk about that show. We may eventually start doing that with some animes, Cowboy Bebop, because it's only got 26 episodes. We may start doing that with this, not on this show, but eventually we may create another specifically anime live stream show to talk about stuff
We
like
can
that.
talk for
Yeah,
hours.
We could go off on 100 different animes and stuff. So let me know what you think, what's your favorite animes, what you'd like to see us talk about in the future. And if my girls are into it, they may come back and be a part of this, because I don't know about you guys, but I've had fun having them in here with me and talking about this, because it gives you guys a sense, like I said, of what it's like when we just sit around the dinner table or are just sitting around, or we sit down and watch an anime as a family, and we're just, at the end of it, we're all just like, do we have to go to bed? Well, it is 6 o'clock in the morning. Maybe we ought to get a couple hours of sleep in before we go. So, but yeah, it really is a lot of fun to do this and to have that with an interaction with your kids. But
it's wholesome too. Like, there's no like super bad thing. You're like, oh, I don't want my child to see that.
Yeah,
it's
there's no swearing.
friendly.
There's no F words in this.
There's a few.
I think there's
Bakugo.
but you'll get an occasional bastard or butthole or whatever. So
no, like it's stuff that you're like, oh, that's all right. Like,
you could see that happening in real life.
Inuyasha is so good.
Let's go.
I agree.
Oh, Darth Aster says he'll join us for Cowboy Bebop. You can go back. I did a live stream on that one here a couple weeks ago and talked about that one. That's all. I left that up on my channel. But yeah, Max World Entertainment. You just made my daughter's day. They love Inuyasha.
Their names are so fun.
Another one that we love is Yona of the Dawn.
Oh,
that one is a lot of fun. It is really funny.
The voice for Hawk is All Might's voice.
Yeah, the guy that does,
and you can't.
And that's the fun thing. You will hear the same voices because Funimation uses a lot of the same actors to do different voices, and it's a lot of fun to pick them out as you're going through the different animes. But
sleep is for the weak.
Sleep is for it is. When we end up staying up a lot to do that, but yeah. So there's so many great animes out there that you will fall in love with if you just give them a chance. If you're not a fan of anime, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Darth Haster did an anime stream the other night, which I was lucky enough to get to participate in. I would suggest go back and watch that. Darth Haster has a great channel. Purple Valkyrie, they've got a great channel, and they do the Valkyrie show 3 times a week. Everybody who's in the chat, if you're watching this after the fact, go and subscribe and watch these people's channels, because they really bring something great to YouTube. I am very proud and excited to be a part of the group that I have gotten in with on YouTube, because they're special people and they make good stuff. And Max World Entertainment does great stuff. He shows people's homemade movies, fan-made films and stuff on his channel. Cool. He has a lot of really cool stuff, Star Trek stuff and different things. And it's just a lot of fun to watch. I go watch him all the time. I'm probably missing people, but yes, there are so
amazing.
Everybody in here is amazing. They really are. Go and Ed Dega Outlaw. He was on my channel here a week ago. Go read his books. Listen to his channel. He's doing the Algonza Witches. I said it right. Last week I could not pronounce that to save my life. I kept going, Algonza Witches. No, so it's Algonza Witches. And they, all week in a mirror. Algonza. They are tremendous. They're great books. And he's doing, he premieres one of those every Sunday, usually just before my show. I put my show back this week to 6:30. And he thought it was funny that I could not pronounce those last week. But yeah, so normally we will be at 5 o'clock on Sundays. We will be going back to that time next week. Thank you for being here after kind of a little bit later stream. We had something going on as a family where I had to push it back. Next week, we will be talking the Dark Crystal and Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. So I hope you will join me. If any of you are interested in being on the channel to talk about the Dark Crystal, one of my all-time favorite movies when I was a kid. It's burned into my soul because I loved it so much when I was a kid. I love Jim Henson. And yes, Max World Entertainment Trigun. I'm working my way through that one right now, and it's very good. It has a very Cowboy Bebop feel to it. But yes, Dark Crystal is fantastic. They made a new series on Netflix called The Age of Resistance. It's got mixed emotions for me. It's good. The production values, unbelievably good. They went back, rebuilt the puppets, did some amazing stuff. The story kind of bogged me down a couple of times, but overall, I'd still give it an 8 out of 10. It was good, and I hope they continue it on. There's just some issues that I wish they would have not, but we'll get into that next week. So, but yes. So Darth Haster on his stream, I started to tell you about that, and then I got sidetracked because squirrel. So, but he did an anime stream where we just sat there and named off animes. And by the time I was done, I don't know where I put it. I have a list of like 50 animes that I have to go catch up on now. So thank you, Dark Haster. I started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventures this week and Tokyo Ghoul this week. So
is that one good?
That one is pretty good. It's very violent and very bloody, so don't watch it. Anyway, so but yeah, so okay, so Darth Haster, just plan on that next week at 5 o'clock. We're going to talk Dark Crystal. I'll DM you and remind you and send you a link because I love the Dark Crystal. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks everybody for being here. Special thanks to my beautiful daughters who agreed to come and do this. They were really nervous about doing this, but I think they've been doing great. And Q-Tip and Cotton Ball will join us at another time, I'm sure. So, but yeah, thank you for being here. It's been an amazing show, and we're going to leave you with the outro. That's going to show you another of the action. It's a quick.
I'm excited.
There's a lot more to this fight sequence than I could show. I just showed it a little bit and put some different music on, just like I did at the beginning. But if this doesn't wet your whistle for what you can see in My Hero Academia, I don't know what will. So we're going to cut out of here, and I hope you have a great night and a great weekend, and we will see you next Sunday or next Saturday on the Expanding the Expanse stream. Thanks, everybody, and we will talk to you next time. Here comes that outro.